Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 13 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, the 17th day of July, 2025. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're hearing my voice anywhere else on the planet, that means you've gone to our website to tune in, ksje.com, or maybe you're listening through the new KSJE app. Whatever it is, welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us. Welcome also to our viewers who are joining us today. The video of this program streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard. Glad that you're here today, because coming up, we are talking about many things in San Juan County with representatives from the Treasurer's Office and the San Juan County Assessor's Office. So lots of discussions about property assessments, property tax rates, that and more coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE today. Then later on this morning, we'll be checking in with New Mexico House Speaker Javier Martinez. He was in San Juan County this week. He'll talk about his visit and what he sees for the upcoming legislative session in 2026 and more. That conversation later on this hour, 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. Mick Hess is standing by to take us roving with the arts. That's our weekday classical music program. That begins a little less than an hour from now at 9:06 on KSJE. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on Instagram, on Blue Sky, and on X, in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast listener, you can subscribe for free to KSJE podcasts. You'll find them at places where you're already listening to podcasts, so check it out and maybe discover a new local program that you may have missed. And as I mentioned, the new KSJE app is out and ready to be downloaded. You can stay connected on the go with your mobile device, available at the App Store and Google Play. So take us with you and stay connected with podcasts and streaming and much more with the new KSJE app. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a sunny Thursday morning so far, 73 degrees at the moment. The forecast calls for a partly sunny day today. 50% chance of a shower could pop up, maybe in the mountains, I would say. 83 for a high, so a bit cooler than we have seen. Overnight, more chances for rain with a low near 67. Tomorrow, again, another 50% chance of showers in the forecast with a high of 86 on Friday. 85 with a chance of showers on Saturday. Overnight lows near 70 before things dry out again with just partly sunny skies in the forecast for Sunday, warming up to 87. Again, partly sunny and 87 on Monday. I'll be back with my guests from San Juan County right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. I'm back in Studio A with my guest this morning, as I mentioned, from San Juan County, from the San Juan County Assessor's Department and the San Juan County Treasurer's Department. Great to have my two guests with us this morning. John Kuhn is here, the Chief Deputy Assessor. Good morning. Thanks for coming in this morning. Great to have you here. Also joining us from the Treasurer's Office, Bryan Myers is here, the Chief Deputy Treasurer. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you both for coming in, gentlemen. And you both are kind of hitting the road a little bit, too, to talk about these issues with civic groups or other folks that may want to have you come in and talk to their members. But I appreciate getting a little bit of it here this morning as well. And so, John, let's start with you about the Assessor's Office. You are the folks that determine the value of properties throughout San Juan County, correct? That's your main job.
That is correct, Scott.
You're not the Treasurer's Office. That's Bryan's job.
That is Bryan's job.
And he'll talk about that in a minute, yeah.
We do get quite a few people coming into our office wanting to pay their taxes, but it's it's no big deal. We just send them right next door.
Send them down the hall. That's true. Very good. So when it comes to assessing the value of a property, give me some idea of how that works, because I'm sure you get folks that maybe agree or some folks who politely disagree.
Yeah, we absolutely get some people that disagree, and we also have some people that probably don't even pay attention or care.
Right.
Which I was one of those people before I went to work at the assessor's office. I didn't really care much about it. I just paid my taxes, and
Right.
it was what it was. But after being there over 9 years, I've learned a lot. I've been educated, and I think that's what we do at the assessor's office more than anything is try to educate the public. Because the big saying for the assessor's office is, the tax man, that's who you pay your taxes to, that's who makes you pay your taxes, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we assess property, and in San Juan County, there's over 59,000 pieces of property, and we are actually the 5th largest county in New Mexico for population and for
Parcels.
Actually, land area.
Yeah.
So,
I see.
I think what we do at our office, just to let the public know, is we have nothing to do with setting your tax rates and what you're going to pay on your taxes. We've got actual appraisers in our office. It's a mass appraisal system, so when you get a fee appraisal for your home, when you're going to sell it, that's a completely different appraisal than what we do.
Right.
That one's more in depth. They're trying to figure out exactly what your home's worth so that they can, you can sell it and make the most money on it.
Sure. I want that number to be high.
Exactly. For ours, you want it to be low, obviously.
Right.
And it normally is lower than a fee appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's a mass appraisal. And our appraisers, a lot of times, people don't want us on their property. They don't want us in their homes, which is fine. So we do the best we can, and if for some reason you ever have any questions about your property value, and you think maybe it should be lower, absolutely give us a call, 505-334-6157.
Okay.
I'm sure my office staff is really happy that I gave out that number. You can call them. Actually, they're great.
Sure. But that is a right of a resident, right, of a citizen, to be able to dispute or whatever, or ask you to take another look at the appraised value of their property when they get that notice, because that value is what determines the tax that's paid on that property, and that's where Brian comes in. But in the meantime, it's kind of the start of that process, I guess, getting that value. Is that right?
Yes. So after we get done assessing your value, we actually send that to the state of New Mexico every year before June 15th. We'll send all of our values. Mm-hmm. They'll get with the Department of Finance and Administration, and together they kind of come up with whatever tax rates need to be in order to pay the bills in San Juan County. So, we've got fire, we've got police, we've got roads, we've got everything. All the bills need paid. So,
right.
So absolutely, that's what we do. And then once they will send us out the rates, I think the commission, San Juan County Commission, approves them at the beginning of September. And once they're approved, we go into the next year and we will send out notice of values. I'm sure everybody that's owned a home has received one before. Might not know what it is, might throw it in the trash, might look at it, might care, might not. I know I used to throw mine in the trash. I didn't really care about it until I was ready to sell my house.
Right.
Then I contacted the assessor's office and asked, why is it so low? Well, it's because it's a mass appraisal. It's not going to be as much as a fee appraisal. I got my fee appraisal done. House was worth way more than my mass appraisal was.
Right.
So anyways, we get notice of values and we send them out by April 1st, but we normally send ours out the end of February, beginning of March. And once you receive that notice of value, you have 30 days to contact our office. You can either come to our office or you can call and ask questions. And if you do feel like, a lot of times after our appraisers kind of explain things to you, most of our customers will understand and go, okay, I see
Get where that number comes from.
But we do have people that say, no, I don't agree. And hey, we're human. We make mistakes. And you're more than welcome to protest within that 30-day period. When you do protest, it is a more in-depth appraisal, probably closer to a fee appraisal.
Right.
We'll come to your property. We'll look it over. And we have definitely found mistakes where we've had to fix people's property value. There also is the other side of that. We could find things that we didn't know existed on your property, and your property could go up. So
Right.
you just never know how it's going to play out.
And that's part of the process, I guess, too, right? So if I have a home or a business, because you do both, right? And if I have, for my house, for example, if I have added an addition to my home, that should be reflected in the next appraisal that is done with this additional square footage of livable space, correct?
Absolutely. And we actually receive an email every month with all the permits in San Juan County that have been applied for.
Got it.
So yes, our appraisers will start coming out, and I think the big thing for the public to know is we're here to help you. I mean, we're no different than you. We all pay taxes. We're not on a bonus structure. We don't make any extra money if your taxes go up and you have to pay more.
Right.
We follow statute, we follow the law, and we want to help you. And if there's a way to help you, I mean, our employees know that, Jimmy Voida, the assessor, has made it clear that, we are not here to fight with the public. We are here to help them any way we can. So
Sure. You hear all the time, though, sometimes about changes in a neighborhood, and if something, maybe a new store is going in at the corner or whatever, or this or that is happening to the neighborhood, and it's going to affect my property values, and oh my goodness, how much of that, I guess, comes into play if you're doing this mass appraisal? I would assume that it doesn't maybe come into play as often as folks might think.
That's to get into something like that. If you do have questions about, something, a new business opening up near you, just call our office and talk to. Every case is different.
Okay.
I mean, for me to even get into that would be, the appraisers would probably kill me, because it's not the same. Every location is different.
Sure.
Within the county.
Okay.
And yeah, so if you have questions like that, you definitely want to contact our office, talk to an appraiser.
Okay.
But it can affect it for sure.
And you are your staff and the other appraisers that are going out, right? They are looking at properties in the city limits, in the county, throughout the unincorporated or throughout the non-reservation parts of San Juan County is what I'm trying to say, correct?
That is correct. Everywhere in the county.
That's a lot, as you were saying.
Like I said, over 59,000 parcels in San Juan County.
Right.
And our appraisers are on a 5-year, they basically try to lay eyes on every property within a 5-year period.
Got it.
Now, if you go and you get a permit, do some work to your house or your business, then we're gonna move you up on that. It may not be 5 years,
Right.
Maybe sooner.
Sure, and that makes sense. And you get, like you said, you get copies of those permits every
month
or so, right? So you can kind of flag that, I guess, or pay attention to it and see what's going on. For the larger properties in the county, I think I remember someone telling me that there's other specialized appraisers that come in to deal with those types of things. I'm thinking power plants, coal mines, solar fields, things like that.
The state
would come
takes
in?
care of all of those.
Got it.
And we're not responsible for any of those properties.
Gotcha.
They'll basically send us the paperwork and tell us, hey, here's what it's worth.
This is the value. Got you. And still the process is the same, though. Once you get that number, right, then it goes over to the treasurer's office.
Yes.
For the value of the property.
Well, it goes to the state actually gets with Department of Finance and Administration. They determine the rates.
Yep.
And then once they have that, then yes, the treasurer's office will receive what the payment's going to be for that particular customer or landowner or homeowner or whatever.
Got you. All right, very good. Before we go to Brian, I want to ask you a couple more questions about the assessor's office, because I know there are some things that homeowners, property owners can do to lower that assessed value, right? There are some things that folks can claim with your office, and it's a pretty painless process. I've done it myself. And so talk to me a little bit about those types of things.
Yeah, I mean, once again, before I went to work for the assessor's office over 9 years ago, I did not have any exemptions on my property. I didn't even know that you could get exemptions, that you could get tax breaks.
Right.
But you absolutely can. We've got numerous exemptions at the assessor's office. Head of household, head of family, which basically just means, hey, I own my home, I live in it. And if that's the case, you can actually get a tax break.
That's almost for everybody, I would think, right? That would
Just
qualify
about,
for that.
Some people rent, and some people, you
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
you know, not everybody qualifies for that, but most people do.
Okay. All right.
We've got 65 and over, and or disabled. If you're any of those, and you make less than $42,900 a year, you can get a tax break. You just need to call our office, come in. Veterans, that's the big one, obviously, because there's a lot of veterans that have no idea. I'm a veteran, and I didn't have my veterans exemption when I showed up to the assessor's office. But and they just went up this last year. They've raised the veterans exemptions, so that's a huge advantage for veterans. And then also they're working on right now, if you're disabled, 100% disabled, you don't have to pay taxes. But
Property taxes. Let's be clear. Property taxes.
Property taxes.
Yes.
It used to be if you were zero. Let's say if you're 20% disabled,
Sure.
you didn't receive anything. You had to be 100%. Well, that's changing going into next year. We do not have all the details on that yet. Once we have it, we will make sure to get it out. But feel free to come to our office. Our employees right now are making a list of veterans as they come in that have questions about partially disabled. We're taking down their name, their number, and then
so once you get
we'll
those,
contact them when we have that information. We also have Wednesday, July 30th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our office, which is 100 South Oliver Drive, Suite 400, which is basically you turn right at the first light in Aztec, or the big building on the left. And if you come to our office on July 30th between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., we will have the VA there, and the whole process can take place at one place. We've been doing that now for a few years. Jimmy Voida, the assessor, got with the VA a few years ago, and we started doing that, and it's been amazing. We've signed up a lot more veterans for tax benefits, and so absolutely. And I just want to throw out, our office, very experienced office. Don't be intimidated by them. I mean, they just counted it up because we were coming here. Just our managers alone, our 5 managers that are under me and Jimmy, 86 years of experience, which is 17 years on average. They're great people, and they're just like you. They pay taxes. They understand, and so don't hesitate to come in, give us a call.
Great. Very good. Lots of reasons to do that, and I'm glad you mentioned that event next week as it's coming up with the VA to talk about these exemptions and the other things that folks can take advantage of. So, so thank you for being here. I want to turn to Bryan Myers this morning, too, from the Treasurer's Office, and make sure he understands he's not off the hook, because we want questions for him about how that all fits. So once these notices of valuation go out and these properties are assessed at a certain value, it goes to the state, and then it comes back to the Treasurer's Office, and with some calculations, you all have been able to send out these property tax notifications, I guess, correct? Is that how it works?
Yep, that's correct, Scott. Once the Assessor's Office wraps up the tax roll,
right,
it's sent to the Treasurer's Office. We take that tax roll and put it into our software, and then that generates the tax bill, and we get those tax bills out November 1st. As an aside, if any property owners are not receiving their tax bill, reach out to the Assessor's Office or Treasurer's Office, sjcounty.net, and you can update your mailing address. You can do it online or over the phone. Yeah, we get that tax bill. It's about 3 feet long, and it has all the information of the property, the legal description, all the associated tax rates, along with the total amount due, and the state allows an installment, 2 installments. So there's a first half and a second half. The first half is due November 10th or by December 10th to avoid penalties and interest. The second half is due the following year by April 10th or May 10th to avoid penalties and interest. And if I could, real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to my office. I work with a wonderful group of people, a small office. They're all listening right now. That's Carol Tobby, the county treasurer, Brigida, Vivian, Stephanie, Terry and Linda. Thank you guys for all that you do.
Shout out to them. Very true. And so with that notice of the tax bill that is due, now some folks may never see that, or they might see it, but they don't pay it because they have a mortgage and maybe their mortgage company takes care of that through an escrow account or things like that. That's also what you deal with also, correct? Is you make sure that you get those payments from the escrow company or the mortgage companies.
Yeah, thanks for making that clarification. Yeah. Typically, with a mortgage, the mortgage company will collect from the property owner and then pay the treasurer's office, and we get large installments from these mortgage companies around the time that the tax bills are due. But just double check to make sure that your mortgage company is in fact paying your property tax. You can always go online, sjcounty.net, and look up your account by owner name or your physical the property address to ensure that the account is zero,
right,
when everything's due.
Up to date. Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Because I guess even if, God forbid, there's a screw up at the mortgage company, it's still your responsibility as the property owner, I guess, to make sure those taxes get paid on time.
That's correct.
Or else there's penalties and interest.
And that's in fact happened to me. So I got burned. I learned my lesson the hard way and got everything caught up.
Right. Hopefully there's someone at the office you could call.
Yeah.
When that happened to you.
Yeah. Give myself a ring.
That's right. But that's an important distinction. The other thing I wanted to ask you about too was something that John mentioned, is that the assessments go to the state office of taxation and finance, or I'm messing up that
finance
administration.
Yep.
That's the term. Pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
And they set kind of the tax rates, the property tax rates for San Juan County. There are certainly very different percentages and different things depending on where you live. If I live in Farmington and I'm in the Farmington School District and San Juan College, there are different property tax rates that are calculated for that piece of property. And so they calculate that, and then that's what comes back to the county commission to kind of say, yes, we agree with this, and then it comes to your office. Is that kind of how the system is supposed to work?
I think you should come work for us.
No.
Answer some calls.
I got none of my father's accounting genes at all, but take us through some of that if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that's essentially what happens. The state sets the mill rates, all the rates. NMDFA, New Mexico Department of Finance. You can go online to the website and see all rates for all counties. And I did do an analysis, and San Juan County has the third lowest imposed operating rate, mill rate in the state. We're
nice.
Very low. We do have some remaining authority to implement additional mill rate, which we do not plan to do. And of all the 33 counties in New Mexico, about 70% of them have no remaining taxing authority.
So they're maxed out.
They're maxed out.
Is what that means, right? And so I know the county is very proud of that they are not maxed out, and that they do have more room, but they're not going to use it. And they feel, I guess, is what that means is that the county can pay its bills while keeping those tax rates at that rate.
Correct.
Is what we're talking about. And is there, I think I remember this too, there's a state, maybe it's a state law that limits the amount of increase every year that property taxes can have on a property. And so sometimes
a 3% cap, correct.
3% cap, thank you. And so sometimes when that property is sold, that cap goes away because there's a new owner, and
correct.
now the property tax rates, pardon me, on that piece of property are maybe a bit higher than previously, just because of that cap was implemented, and now with the sale, it's not. Did that even make sense? That's the longest question I've ever asked anyone. Holy smokes!
One of the biggest questions we get.
Is it
at the assessor's office?
Why is the rate higher than the old homeowner or property owner?
Whenever the house sells.
Gotcha.
Because it does jump up.
And that's, I guess, what property buyers should be aware of, right? And hopefully their real estate folks are telling them that they can't maybe judge the old tax rate based on what they're going to be paying, depending. Maybe if the person's lived there for 70 years, that's going to be probably a big jump.
Big jump.
Yep,
And so that is what happens, right? So,
and I'll talk a little bit about more of the process in detail. Also a special shout out to Mike Stark, Steven Saavedra, Kim Martin. They're the county manager, deputy county manager, and CFO. They do an excellent job managing our funds. If we're looking at the county budget, it's about $141 million in revenues. Most of our revenues, 37%, come from the gross receipts tax, followed by intergovernmental grants at about 32%. So grants just don't fall in your lap. You have to actually go out and seek them. Also, shout out to Nick Perel at Public Works to find this money that's offered through the state or the federal government, which kind of replaces our operating income, which we collect from property tax. Property tax is third at 19%. That's our third highest revenue for San Juan County.
Gotcha. And so I guess I would see that as then if any of those other revenue income streams get smaller,
Yes.
then other places are going to have to get bigger, or the county government's going to have to get smaller
Services will have to
as well. And so that's
Be
the
looked
juggling
at.
act that those folks you
The
mentioned
juggling,
that do every year, those county managers and folks in that office and things like that. And so that's kind of how it all kind of comes into play and works
Correct.
together, ideally, right?
Right.
And so take me through if so I get my tax bill and I'm not able to pay it. Can I work with the county? Can the treasurer's office work with me to kind of make payments or try to get that done? Or if I just am delinquent, let's go through those two different diverging paths, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
What happens if I try to make payment arrangements with the treasurer's office? Is that possible?
No, it's possible. It depends on what the property is. So we have centrally assessed; those are the state assessed properties. Those don't come into play in our office; those are handled through the state.
Right.
We do collect for them. They rarely go delinquent. We reach out to the companies,
Sure.
or typically companies directly. And then you have mobile homes, and then also real property that could be land or home. So if we're talking about what we call our accounts, every tax bill has a tax bill ID number with a leading letter. If you look at your tax bill, if it leads with an R, that means real property. That's either your house or land. If it leads with an M, that's mobile, M for mobile. So if we're talking about real property, if a property account with a leading R goes delinquent for 3 years or more, it is referred to state. And the state then handles the collection and review for determining whether that property will be auctioned.
Gotcha.
We do,
but
in
that's
fact,
after 3 years. That
3
seems to be a
years
very
delinquent,
generous time.
That's correct.
limit.
Yeah. In that time, before it goes to state, the county treasurer's office is making every effort to contact these property owners through annual tax bills, our tax bill reminders that are sent out annually, and also our delinquency notices.
Gotcha.
All sent out through the mail. And again, all properties can be viewed online. Once the state determines which properties are going to go up for auction, they notify us with the auction date. This year, the auction date is August 13th at the San Juan County Commission Chambers in Aztec, 100 South Oliver Drive. It starts at 10 a.m. Bidders, if you're interested in bidding on the property, you can go to the state property tax website, New Mexico Delinquency Property Tax website. The properties are listed on that website, and you can read about how to register as a bidder.
Gotcha. But that has to be done before the auction, I guess, right?
Before the auction.
Those bidders
yeah.
need to be registered.
Yeah.
So makes sense. And so that's kind of what happens. But there's a 3-year period, I guess, when you're trying to work with these folks so that
Right.
doesn't happen.
Right.
Is what I guess I'm learning from you this morning. So that's important for folks to realize.
If the property does go delinquent and is referred to state, the property owner can reach out to the state directly and enter into an installment agreement with them. They have to. Currently, the process is the property owner has to drive to Santa Fe to sign the contract in person and then make those monthly payments.
Gotcha.
Now, if we're talking about mobile homes, you can a property owner can reach out to our office directly, or you can reach out by email or by phone. We prefer phone, and we can talk about your situation and get you on a plan. We also, for any property, we have a prepayment installment plan. So once an account is paid in full for the following tax year, we can estimate the next year taxes and split them into 10 installments.
Gotcha. To hopefully avoid that issue, I guess, right?
So that, even though there's 2 installments for the actual tax bill, it breaks it down into smaller pieces. It's easier for people. And I would suggest this for people who no longer have a mortgage and are then paying the taxes themselves directly to give us a call, and we can help them figure that out. Typically, the installments, by our county ordinance, they have to start in June, and the last payment is in March. So
Got it.
that's already in process.
Very good. Nice. And so that means I guess you have 2 months without payments.
Yep.
Is what happens when it's in 10 installments. See, I figured.
Yeah, there's a true up on that.
That's
last
the math
payment.
skills at
That's the
work
math,
right
yeah.
here. That's right. That's exactly how it goes. Very good. Well, gentlemen, we're just about out of time this morning, and I really appreciate you both coming in. There was another point, John Kuhn, that you wanted to make.
I just wanted to say, just wanted to clarify on the veteran exemptions.
Yes.
You must be honorably discharged. Just one point.
Good point. There's probably a form you'll want to have on file or something with that when they apply.
Your DD-214.
Yeah.
If you have your DD-214, you were honorably discharged, then definitely come see us or show up on July 30th, 9 to 3 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, very good. Good to know.
If I could make one more point up.
Yeah.
So where does our money go? Once we collect
Yeah.
it every month, where does it go? It goes
Right.
to county operational, our general fund, for those services that San Juan County provides. And it also goes to the schools, debt service, and the municipalities.
Gotcha. Very good.
We remit those every month.
Gotcha. But it comes through your office
Right.
and goes back out. So
Correct.
places like San Juan College
San Juan College
are
is a
getting
recipient
revenue
also.
from some of these property taxes
Yep.
that are coming in. Very good. Gentlemen, I appreciate you coming in. Lots of important information. Again, you're willing to take this info to civic groups and other organizations if they'd like to have you talk to their members in person?
Absolutely. We have 2 scheduled in September. September 16th is at Rotary and September 17th at RPSJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I imagine you'll talk to more,
Yep.
hopefully after
Reach
this
out.
program. So thanks for being here, for the work that you all do, and your staffs at San Juan County. Appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. My guest this morning from San Juan County with me here on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.